Hey everybody, this is Brian Bailey with Heat Seeker Outdoors. We're here today. It's the middle of August and we're starting to work on our mock scrapes. Southern Indiana, Big Rack Farms. We're going to use today, we brought a rake with us. I like using a good hard tooth rake. Some people like the other rake, it doesn't matter. Basically we've found an entry point that we know through our trail cam pictures. This is where a lot of our big deer are coming in and out, and so we want to make this scrape right here where it's gonna catch their curiosity, and then later in the season when we have our tree stand in this tree right in front of us, they're gonna come and hopefully keep using this scrape. So I've had really good success with mock scrapes in the past. The biggest deer that I've ever killed, I killed with a mock scrape, and so I'm really big on them. Obviously we're using our Black Widow deer lure products, and I know in the last couple of years that we've been using those. Trail cam pictures just went up. They actually tripled for us when we started using the scrape beads and the Black Widow stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and first thing I'm going to do is rake this out, obviously make it look like a scrape. We've got the new branch butter from Black Widow. We're going to put the branch butter up here on our licking branch. And then that's pretty much, we got some scrape beads. Something I'd like to talk about just for briefly is the naked scent beads. If you've got, you know, a scent that you've had, that you've always been successful with, it doesn't offend anybody if you want to use that with their naked scent beads. The naked scent beads will absorb that up, and like me personally, you know, I'll take a natural doe urine or something like that to put in here over the summer, and then once I get into my season I start switching those over. And you know, they offer the Scrape Master, and it's just a perfect all season. That's what we're going to put in this today. We may just use a natural doe urine, not sure, but we're going to go ahead and get to work. We got a couple of these we're going to get put out today. See, nice big scrape. Gonna put our branch butter here, scrape beads there, and move on to our next one. So we're going to use the Black Widow Scrape Masters. Probably a little early for that. I'd rather have the extreme interest, the curiosity or whatever, but this is what I had. So we're going to put that down here, and I'll tell you, they hold their scent forever. Alright. Black Widow branch butter. This is going to be our first foray. This is the first year that they've offered it. Pre-orbital and forehead glands. So we're just going to put a little bit of that here. Really hot, so it's not wanting to stay very well, but it's dripping into our scrape. So branch butter is just another tool in the toolbox. It looks really cool. So alright, basically this scrape's done. We're going to move on to our next one and keep putting them in. We got 2 more to put in. So we're here at our second location. Probably a little more excited about this location because we actually have a covert camera right over here on this tree, and we've been having a buck hit. He kind of already made this scrape. The only thing I don't like is he's already nipped off all the licking branches, so we may just kind of set that back in this tree just a little bit. But We've had a buck already kind of make this scrape, so we know he's using it. He's a dominant deer. He's easily in the top 3 on our property that we're working here. And so the deer that we have on camera, we got our covert camera here set up. We've already got a very mature, we know he's at least 4.5 because we have pictures of him from 4 years. But this deer that's working this, we call him Smokey. He's been making this scrape. He already made this scrape. He's been working this scrape for about the last month or so. So basically what I'm going to do on this one, it's a whole lot easier. I'm just going to come back here to where he still has these branches to go ahead and hit, and because he's already obviously cut them out. But anytime that you've got a scrape that's kind of there already and they've started it this early in the summer, nothing wrong with going ahead and taking that scrape over and putting some scent in that scrape. So I'm going to get to work, same show as last time. If we were, obviously, I mean, if we were closer to season, I'd be way more worried about putting, you know, my scent down and everything. But here in Indiana, we still got another 2 months, month and a half. So, all right, I kind of like the way this is looking. Still gives him something to kind of pick out of there, but yet still good enough that he's obviously knows where it is. I like to break one, let it go down, and pretty much the work part of this is done. Now we just got to get the scent and put it on it. So one thing that we didn't talk about on our first setup that I wanted to talk about on this setup, because it's perfect for it, is even though, you know, this is just a mock scrape that we're toying around with. When I set a mock scrape up, I try to think where that deer is going to approach that scrape from. Where do I have to approach that scrape from? So when I'm going to hunt this location, primary wind is always going to be blowing this way or this way. So it's always going to be coming like this. That deer is probably not going to approach that scrape from there, but even if he does, I'm going to be hunting him from the upwind side. So I like to kind of set my scrape up where I know that I'm going to be hunting that scrape and the deer are going to be coming to me, rather than hunting that scrape and my scent going to the deer, if that makes sense. So just another way to, when you're picking your locations for these scrapes, we play a lot of wind direction. It's just one more thing, you know, there's so many things set up for you to fail when taking that mature deer, and you know, that's one more thing that you can kind of take that guessing game out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and put our branch butter on. It's a nice hardwood, and it's really applying well to this. And we're going to put our scrape beads on. Again, we're going to go with Scrape Master, just because that's what we have with us. Alright, we got just enough to make our final scrape with those. So that's it for this scrape. We're going to move on from it, go do our last one, and then we're going to boot scoot out of here and head back to home. So we'll catch up with you on the next one. Josh and I were kind of talking about it, and we both decided there's no way we're going to do 3 scrapes today and not do one by a cedar tree. You know, our experience, especially down here, and especially in this part of the farm, our experience, you know, Josh and I came down here this spring, we couldn't just, it was unbelievable the amount of rubs on these cedar trees. There was 50, 100, 150 scrapes, Josh, I don't know. So I mean, we decided our last location really ought to be this cedar tree. And so it gives the deer obviously something to thrash his antlers in. The approach here is perfect for where we're going to be hunting him. You know, we think he's going to be bedding back here or back there. He's going to be approaching here. Our scent is going to be going that way, so as he's approaching this scrape, he's coming downwind of the scrape, so he's smelling to see whether or not we've changed the scent out, or he thinks another deer's there, but he has no idea that unsuspecting we're sitting right up here about 30-yard shot. So we're hoping that this pasture here is a nice clover plot that we've put in and maintained, and we definitely got sign all the way around it. So we're going to knock this out and then we're going to get moving. I like to really get that dirt loose right there at the end, so that when we put the scent beads on, that just soaks right in there, and that dirt will keep that scent for a long time. So here for these deer now, and we have a camera about 40 yards that way, 40 yards that way. Now we're gonna have one 20 yards facing this one, so hopefully we'll get some good pictures to show you, and then we'll have some good footage hopefully come this fall of whatever deer we're gonna harvest out of this scrape. We hope you liked our video on mock scrapes. If there's one thing you can take away from it, it is that you try anything and everything with it. You never know what might work. I've tried some really weird things before, thinking let's see what happens, and got great results with it. So never stop learning and always keep moving on. For more information about us, you can check us out on Facebook, Heat Seeker Outdoors, Instagram, and for more videos from us, go to our YouTube channel, Heat Seeker Outdoors. Thanks for watching.